it's gonna be that one here at the end of the year. So you'll typically have one event a year. And total number of permits for food facility permits that you have for your city is 39, and then child care is 30. That's what we stand right. Pool inspections. I know y'all don't have swimming pool, commercial swimming pools, semi-public to public swimming pools in your city. However, it's something that you might want to consider. As far as checking off in the MOU checkbox, you can do food or pool. And again, it doesn't cost you anything as a city, right? But sometimes, you know, a pool will come into your city, and then if we have the MOU already there, it's already built into it, then we can go ahead and assume services and start vetting them and ensuring that they meet the proper guidelines of the pool code. We can start looking at reviewing their plans and stuff like that from the get-go, instead of having to wait for an MOU to be revised, right? So there's an example of a city that actually has similar to how your MOU is written, and they, over the past 2 years, they got 2 new pools, and so there was a late revisal, and these things take time, just depending on how fast, you know, it's passed through city council, and then it goes up to the county judge, and so, again, if that was something that's checked, we can go into that rather quickly, didn't have to wait. Excuse me. And here we got the Commissioner's Court approved Tarrant County Environmental Health Fee Schedule. And there's the court order number if anybody wants a reference. All permit fees are payable by the establishment owners to Tarrant County Public Health and fully fund inspection program costs. So again, this is cost-free to your city. These are going to be paid by the actual establishment owner that's seeking that permit to provide that service within your city. And that's kind of hard to see. I apologize. I can provide you all got a couple of different handouts here. I know I did that enough. Is that, you gave us that?
Yeah,
y'all got that?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, good. So as you can see, we got different type of permits broken down in different categories, from pools to food service to food store, farmers markets, temporary events, planned reviews that we provide. And so a lot of these fees are going to be mostly associated with the food service permit, and we have those broken down into categories of square footage. So based on the square footage of the facility, it's going to have a higher rate because of the fact that they usually will have more to inspect, they'll have more services to offer, they'll have more equipment, they'll have a different menu scheme, so it's going to be more ground to cover as far as a larger establishment, and that's why some of these fees are going to be higher based on the square footage. And then it's also broken down as far as if there's a child care facility or a school cafeteria or a commissary, which is going to be some place that doesn't provide retail sales of food directly to the consumer, but they prep food there to provide retail sales somewhere else. For example, like a mobile food truck. Farmers market is a separate one, and that's kind of emerging. A lot of cities have farmers markets now, so we included that fee now in our fee schedule, which we didn't have before. And below that are food stores, which are going to be like your convenience stores. So that's the difference between a food service permit and a food store. A food store is typically just going to be a grocery or your convenience store. Plan reviews are the fees that we charge for reviewing a set of plans when a new establishment comes in. And then you got the temporary food inspection fees for 1 to 5 days versus 6 to 14 days. And pretty much that's the breakdown of the fees. With that, if y'all have any questions about any of this, I'm more than happy to answer it.
Raj, are you needing an updated MOU on the city?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I provided a MOU template that has the revisions and the language in there. So you know, if y'all have any questions about that, you can ask us, and we can get that response to you if I don't know it right now. But yeah, we're looking for that so we can go ahead and get that over to the county judge, and then we can get it signed and have it adopted and make it official.
Have you had a chance to look over that?
I have not reviewed it in detail, no.
So the language, just to kind of let you know, it's pretty much it's the same thing that we provided you. It's just like I said, there's two important categories in that. That is the the adoption of the newer language of the rules and regulations for the state. And it doesn't really change. It's basically all it did was it changed some of the reference coding. Instead of it being 229, now it's chapter 228 in the Texas Administrative Code. But pretty much everything and every service we provide is the same. The state adopted the new FDA version, which is at this current time it's in 2017, and they'll probably come up with another one. But 2017 FDA, so it's just more detailed. But as far as the services and what we do, there's not really anything that's changed there. So it'll reference that coding in there, and then of course the fees. But as far as all the other services, they're still going to be provided to you. And the good thing is now that we have the ability for you'll have to have the option to check that pool box, right, the swimming pool box. So that would be another change. If you decide to do that, again, that would be no cost.
Are you looking for action after the attorney?
Yeah, if you want to, pending on the attorney's review, but it's something we've been in for years, and it's a very good program. We use them a lot. They come out a lot for us, so in the past, and I would suggest doing the swimming pool, not because we expect to have it, but if you ever do, it's there, and it doesn't cost anything to the city. So that would be my recommendation.
Are you looking for a motion, or?
Yes, sir.
Approve it pending
Attorney's review.
I make a motion that we renew the memorandum of understanding with Tarrant County Health Department for food establishment and inspection with the review by our attorney, pending the review by our attorney. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you, appreciate y'all coming out tonight.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is discussion and action appearance by Enterprise Fleet, updating the Enterprise Fleet Management Program with the city. Good to see you again. Come on up.
All right, well, thanks for having us out tonight, guys. My name is Rob Walker. I am with Enterprise Fleet Management. I'm a client strategy manager over in our Irving location just down the street from y'all. This is our area sales manager, Aralia Anaya, so she'll be joining me tonight. Today, the agenda is pretty simple. Really just wanted to recap and just revisit how the partnership has been going since its inception. So I'll run through a little bit of the history and the why and how the partnership began. Then I'll run you through how we're doing performance-wise in this budget year and look at some savings that we've been able to provide to the city. And then I'll leave it open to if you guys have any questions or discussion. But most importantly, if you have questions as I'm talking, feel free to interrupt me. I don't mind calling out the whole thing. So, quick recap of the partnership. The partnership began about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago in July of 2021. Your program currently consists of a lot of things, but primarily listed below those bullet points. Maintenance, a couple different programs, full maintenance, which is on all of your new vehicles, on all the vehicles that we lease for you. Those are at a fixed and budgeted rate, so the maintenance cost is not static, it stays the same every single month. And then you have your managed maintenance program, which is primarily for the city-owned vehicles, and your higher mileage units that don't qualify for the full maintenance program. Essentially, that works as a pass-through, so operationally, your drivers use the same. They have a maintenance card with Enterprise. They go to a shop for any sort of service that they need, show them their card, we pay the bill, and then we invoice you on the back end. So either way, your entire fleet is on some degree of maintenance program. We also handle all the acquisition for the city. Primarily, when we make our recommendations each year, we look to not necessarily order traditionally from dealers, although we do that. Our main focus is to proactively order from the factory directly. Typically can save up to around $7,000 or so, depending on what the dealer is selling vehicles for at that time. We handle resale of all of your vehicles and all of your lease turn-ins at the end of their term. License, title, registration, all the fun administrative stuff that takes up a lot of time. We handle all of that for you as well. And then technology, really simple. It's just our client website, but it's a really good portal for Marvin, Jeremy, Paula, everyone can use that to review how the program's going in real time. And my personal favorite, fleet consultation, because that's me.